It's Mina back for another video. Oh, let me not shake this table. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mina. I am a sound healer and I create, compose, write, produce all my own music, and it's specifically channeled from source for you with specific intentions in mind, whether that be emotional healing, opening up your third eye, helping you with your intuitive or psychic gifts, moving into the Akashic Record, whatever it is. There's always a very specific intention, and I work a lot with spirit guides, angels, fae, kind of you name it, whoever comes to me. And if you're interested in that kind of content, don't forget to subscribe. New videos every week. Like this video, comment for engagement so that other people look at it and stuff. Okay, now, why did I want to make this video today? Because I've been working with a lot of people recently. I just recently started doing my sound journeys in person. So before, you could only do my sound journeys in my Solos membership, which is linked below if you're interested in it. But now I'm doing them in person and kind of expanding myself a little more. And I've been working a lot with people who aren't that into spirituality, but their psychic gifts are being unlocked without them even like knowing it. And it's so cool because I feel like I come into people's lives right when this is kind of starting to emerge within them. And then I obviously recognize it right away. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's because XYZ. And they're like, wait, what? So I thought I would make this video to help you unlock because that's the thing. It's not that you have to learn psychic or intuitive ability for the first time. You were born with it. Everyone's born with it. And then for one reason or another, it gets shut down. And then you feel like you don't have them. And even more than that, you feel like, that's kind of weird, or like only weird people talk about that. But then it starts to come back online a little bit, and you naturally start to get drawn to these kinds of things. So I want to give you some tips on how to unblock third eye and crown, how to unlock those psychic gifts and start to bring those forward. Now, you may not remember how you lost the gifts or how you blocked them, but more often than not, whenever I work with anyone one-on-one, whether it is in my one-on-one sound journey or the Akashic Record readings, always it's that when you were a child, you saw some crazy stuff and you said, nope, I'm closing that down. I'm not looking at that. So, and usually what I see is either you're in your crib or you're like a toddler in your bed or whatever, and these shadow beings just like are looking at you. Or maybe you start seeing things moving. Now, the more blocked, the more vivid you saw it originally. So what happens is I'm getting a huge chill as I'm saying this, which always tells me like, keep going, keep saying this, whatever you're saying. So when this gets shut down, not only is it shut down, but there is fear, I don't even want to just say fear. I want to say like horrific spiritual trauma around it. And that energy acts as a padlock. That thing is shut down like Fort Knox, honey. It's really hard to unlock that because your conscious mind, the mind that's listening to me talk right now, doesn't remember that happening. Now, as I'm talking, if you're getting a chill, if you're kind of feeling like, I don't know what she's talking about, but I feel like I need to listen to this, or maybe you're a little further along in your journey and you're like, yep, I can totally see that happening, like, help me, then just know that most likely did happen to you at whatever age. It could also be, I'm thinking of all the examples I've seen, that you were actually in utero in your mother and she had an experience. Or maybe she had an experience when she was a child and she was like, nope. And so it just, like a generational trauma, it passed down. It could even be that your grandmother, your great grandmother, whatever, had that trauma, said no, and then shut it down for everybody. Now, I also want to say, and this is not for everybody, but I also have seen that sometimes people up the genetic line have dabbled in, I guess we'll say, the dark arts, have dabbled in working with demons, working with dark energies. Now, everyone has a different viewpoint on all that kind of stuff. This is my channel, so I'm going to give you my viewpoint, which is don't mess with that shit. It's never good. It's never good. Sorry for my cursing, but I feel, this is my personal opinion, if you honestly think you can control a demon, you are not that. It's not it, honey. I promise you, you can't, because when you summon them and you work with them, you know what they think about you? They think you're the dumbest human. They're like, oh my God, this human is like calling me in. Wow, what a dummy. Okay, yeah, I'm going to say whatever, because an entity that is a negative charge, okay? And negative doesn't mean bad. It just means negative energy. They are not obligated to speak the truth to a human. Whereas karmic, like the laws of karma dictate that a positive entity must speak the truth to a human. And they want to, because they're love, right? They want to speak the truth to you. They want to help you. A negative entity can just boldface lie to you. There's more on this in my video. I'll put it wherever. I never remember where it pops up. About like shadow beings and dark entities. Watch that if you're interested in this, because they have no obligation to tell the truth, and they won't. As long that the minute you don't serve them anymore, the minute you're not their little puppet anymore, they're going to turn on you. And they're going to, it's crazy. Like, you don't even realize that you made a deal with them. And then they turn around and they're like, actually, you owe me now. And now you're going to do this for me. And it shifts, the power dynamic shifts before your eyes, before you even know what happened. So then what happens is then the person is like freaking out and they're like, shoot. And then they shut it down. And they're like, well, if I can't see you, then I can't talk to you. And then you can't talk to me. And then you can't make good on this promise that I made you. And now it's all over and that's it. And so they just live like in this dissociated state for like the rest of their life as it pertains to this. And then they pass that down. Now, again, that's like more rare case, but that also does happen. So again, if your family, or again, listen to your heart as I'm speaking to you. Listen to your body. What's your body telling you? Are you getting chills right now? Are you getting a feeling of like, ooh, I think this might be me, right? Just listen to yourself. That's the only way you're going to know if this is for you or not. Okay. So in any case, it doesn't matter how it got blocked. The point is it got blocked. You have to remember you're in control. It's your body. It doesn't matter who blocked it. It doesn't matter who's the original reason. You're still the one perpetuating the story, perpetuating the energy. Sorry, my cats are insane right now. They're knocking over all the stuff. Okay. My cat knocked over all my stuff, so now I had to reset up. Okay. So you're in charge. It's basically, you've been passed the torch, right? So it doesn't matter who blocked it or what happened. You've been passed the torch. You decide. You basically, and again, this is not fun advice, but this just is the plain truth. You need to analyze your relationship with fear, because if you continue to suppress memories that are uncomfortable, as every single human does, you will not be able to let these psychic and intuitive gifts come through. They just won't. And this is why I always say that someone is becoming really emotionally healthy when their psychic gifts are coming out. Because if you're not emotionally healthy, it's going to be super blocked because you operate under this system of repressed energy. And I just want to say, people who have really strong, again, everyone has psychic gifts, but one of two things happens for people as they grow up. And it depends on your environment and it depends on your personality and all those things. But it splits. So one part of the population will be really good at suppressing emotions. Again, and that's just based on like their upbringing and who they are and all that stuff. They'll be really good at it. And those people will kind of adopt this. They'll get really like mental heavy. And we see those kind of people sort of like dissing the other side, which is the people who can't suppress emotion very easily. Like you're just like emotionally powerful person. and it won't get shoved. It just won't go down. So then you become like self-conscious, right, of your emotional landscape as you grow up, because our society is ruled by the former, the people who can suppress emotion and like think logically, which is like literally not even logical. Because, well, in my opinion, I don't think that being non-emotional is logical in any way. I think that that's a shortcut to a very sad life. But then again, that's just my opinion. So then the other side, the emotional side, that leads to like not being heard, not being seen. You don't feel like anyone's seeing you. You don't feel understood. And the reason is because people can only understand what they're capable of understanding as it pertains to them. So, for example, if you are emotionally vast and you have parents who are more like the former, right, who are more suppressed and repressed, then what's going to happen is you're not going to be seen by them to your fullest extent. Even if you have parents who really try, like I had parents who try so hard. And they gave me everything they possibly could. You know, they gave me everything I ever wanted and needed, everything. They were there for me in any way they could possibly be there for me. But I still, inside, subconsciously, I felt abandoned. And it was because neither one of them had the emotional landscape to see me at my depth. Now, they've done a complete 180. Both of them have done a lot of work on themselves, and they now are able to meet me at that depth, which is so cool, but that's really rare. And most people I see, you know, again, it's like, even if your parents did the absolute best they could, like they just can't get there, right? So it's really rare. I do encourage you, if you think your parents are open to this kind of thing, to talk with them, because that really helps you with these subconscious belief systems and those original moments of fear as a child where the psychic gifts got locked down. That really helped me anyway, because it's like my inner child healed so much more rapidly when my parents were willing to listen to me. It was so magical and cool. So anyway, if you are that type of person, especially who is more emotional, wasn't seen, wasn't heard, you might even since then have like gone in the other direction and like become like mental heavy, but you feel like it's not you. You feel like you're constantly being someone else, like you're constantly wearing a mask. You could feel like that. And that's because you're actually supposed to be the latter, the emotional. Well, everyone's supposed to be emotionally open, right? Just, again, our society praises things that are mental body heavy and emotional and spiritual body repressed. And that's just kind of the way it is right now. But I do feel like the energy is changing. And what's happening on the earth right now is just energy potential is expanding. And I've done a bunch of videos on this on my TikTok and my Instagram, and I think here, but the energy is expanding. And so what's happening is it's the veil. It used to be a thick concrete slab that could separate repressed emotion from conscious mind. That is thinning substantially. So what you're going to be seeing is a lot of people with emotions that are out of control. And that doesn't matter if you are on this side of it or this side of it. Out of control emotions are going to be I've already been seeing so much of it. So if you find that, you know, if you're like in the service industry or something, or you're like working something that works with customers or whatever, and you just start finding a lot more people are bothered a lot more, that's why. They literally can't even control. Well, you can control it, but if you don't even understand the game that we're playing here, then you don't know how to control it. So that's the issue, is that society is built on an illusion, a game that's not the game anymore. The game now, the people who are going to be winning this game, winning this illusion now, are the emotionally open people. And I need you to know that emotionally open doesn't mean like crying to anyone who will listen and being like a hot mess in front of everybody. That's still out of control emotions. That's still a result of not being, like, your deepest part of you is not heard or seen, which is why it acts out. What I'm talking about by being emotionally open and vulnerable is the power of truly coming to terms with who you are and being satisfied with who you are and content with the way that your life is right now. And that doesn't mean you don't have goals and that you're not going for things, but that just means you're sitting inside yourself and you're saying, you know, I'm not where I want to be right now, but I'm exactly where I need to be right now, and I accept what's happening. I think a lot of people think if they accept what's happening, it means that they have to just like be done, and that's not true. You can accept what's happening and be open for more. That is the most powerful position you can be in. And love is not weak. That, what I just told you, is like the deepest expression of self-love. And that's not weak. It's not everyone, but I think again, like there's this feeling, this understanding that being vulnerable and open is weak. That's the most powerful, because someone who loves vulnerably and authentically is the most powerful person in the room, because that person is the only person who has their emotions in check. That's the only person who is emotionally healthy. Someone who doesn't show emotion, doesn't have their emotions in check, is literally the opposite. So these illusions are going to be seen more and more, trust me. So I really want that taboo to go away, because it's not serving anybody at all. And a lot of physical and mental ailments are a result of this repressed energy that's now being like shoved up. I keep seeing this image of like a concrete slab, and yet a flower starts to grow anyway and starts to like go through. So it's like this concrete that the person created to separate themselves from nasty emotions that they felt rejected from in childhood. It's like you don't get to have that luxury anymore of that concrete slab. Like things are still growing. So that's why I feel like everyone needs to just like get into this or bust, because it's happening and we like can't control it. It's just like, this is what's happening. So in conclusion, if you want to, and this is like part one of, just leave a comment if you want to know more. This conversation is so long and vast that it just has to be in pieces. But if you want to unblock your psychic gifts, your intuitive gifts, it's the same word. People think of it as different things. If you want to unblock your gifts, meet your inner child at the moment of that scary thing that happened to you. Dive into your body, feel into your body. There is a sound journey. It'll be somewhere popping up. Unlocking your intuitive gifts. Listen to that sound journey. If you like more of it, that's part of the Solos membership. So you can sign up for that link below. And this will start to help you unlock what needs to be unlocked and soothe that part of you that's trying to run from these things, because that part of you feels, well, if we unlock these gifts, your adult self is, or however old you are watching this, your self now is like, wow, that'd be so cool to like have those gifts. But your tiny version of you is like, it's not cool, actually. I saw this crazy ass shadow being, and like, no, I don't want to see that anymore. So that part of you is like gatekeeping, and you need to reach them. That's the only way. They have the key. So do that sound journey, or if you do inner child work already, just dive into yourself, feel into where it's going to be below. It's going to be the bottom 3 chakras, solar plexus, sacral, or root chakra. It's going to be in one of those that's blocked. If you are heavily earth energy, if you connect with Fae, if you connect with earth stuff, actually you could be blocked in what I call the Enam chakra, also known as like Earth Star chakra, which is below the root chakra where you and earth meet. So could be there too. It's like the umbilical cord that connects you to earth. Could be that one too. So again, if you're interested in any of this, leave a comment. You can also email if you have questions about our services. Follow me on my social medias. I'm going to be creating a new social media. I'm going to be creating a new Instagram, I think, pretty soon. That's going to be just like more music based. I might not do that. You know, sometimes I say things and I don't do it. So I might. But leave a comment, engage with this video if you liked it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.